pull up the keynote speaker for tonight, Assemblyman Benji Wimberly.
Hey, Dwayne, I gotta bring you on the road with me. That may be the best introduction I had in my life. I don't know, that's good. But it's really an honor, and I just want to bring words. I heard everything that has need to be said has been said, and I know how things need to be done, but when it comes to this election on November 6th, I just think there has to be a new awakening. I mean, I'm sure everybody's talking about Donald Trump and, you know, the racist, you know, divide that we have here in America at this time. You know, regardless if it's women, regardless if it's LGBT community, it's the Muslim community, it's people that are trying to escape, you know, horror and terror in countries in South America. We know how important November 6th is. And the one thing that I will say is that the best thing I've seen on social media is vote as if your life depended on it. And I think that is so important that you do this. I mean, it makes so much sense. And I thank Jeffrey and the many people from the NAACPs, I'm sure, across the country that are hosting luncheons during this month. But the important factor is we do not need to wake up on November 7th and go to a neighbor and say, did you vote? Oh, when was the election? I didn't know who was up. I didn't like him. 10 points means nothing. Hillary Clinton. She's up 10 points. You remember that? And everybody got comfortable and stayed home. So the energy that we need to bring is the energy of our ancestors. So you think about the people who died, who were beaten, who right here in Passaic County, as the chairman said, were fire hosed down and dogs were sicked on them for the right to vote. And we stay home and not vote. And then we have people who are not registered to vote. You think about the energy that's been put in even by our hip hop stars and everybody else. That's how important it is that we need to get out here and vote. I mean, it is really a life or death situation for so many people. And when I see our Commissioner of Education here, you think about the money that Chris Christie held back for 8 years on our people and underfunded schools by $8 billion. And you have buildings throughout New Jersey that during the winter months that they are freezing and it's dripping on our heads. And during the summer months, the kids' nose are bleeding and they're having asthma attacks. That's how important this vote is. And when you're doing the right thing, they're gonna attack you. So you gotta have your armor on. You gotta be ready to go. So you know when our Governor Phil Murphy is being attacked, he must be doing the right thing. So when Governor Phil Murphy fights for those who are less fortunate, those who may not give a donation, those who are not gonna come out here and have these big dinners for him, you know he's doing the right thing. So he's gonna be under attack. When your local leaders are doing the right thing, they're gonna be under attack. So it takes people like me and you and the people out here to get out here and fight. And the one message I will send is, as a young lady, when she came in, she said, you are Sister Maxwell's son, right? And I go, and my mom was a longtime Passaic resident. She lived at 146 Jefferson Street. And she loved Williams AME Chapel Church. That was her church. And she would, every event I had to come and sit in the back for friends and family. Usher Day, I've been to every Usher Day there's been in everything, and I made it. But when you think of AME churches and the energy to vote, you think about June 17, 2015, and I've told this everywhere I went. And a guy named Dylan Roof walked in on a prayer service at Mother Emanuel AME Church in South Carolina. And the race war almost began again because its ugly head continues to poke out. I mean, just this past week, I mean, the guy who sent bombs to our leaders, and it's with ill intent. And it's with fear that we have to say that, you know what, we have to be involved. You think of the future that Reverend Senator Clemente Pinckney had. Like, he was a national figure and he was killed in his church. We have to get beyond just praying for these things. We have to get on our knees and pray. Then we got to get up and we got to knock on doors. We got to get on Instagram. We got to get on Facebook. We got to get on Twitter. We have to touch hands in a coffee shop. We have to make sure our kids are talking about voting. When we go to vote, make sure your grandkids and your kids walk in that booth with you and watch you vote so they understand the importance of this vote. So Passaic County NAACP, the many friends that I have here, the one clear message is on November 6th, not only should we rock the vote, we should change the tide of America and send number 45 and his team packing. That it's over. It's done. For him to insult us and stand up and say that, you know, a divided America, you're going to blame CNN and everybody else, it's an insult to anybody's intelligent. And if you're a good American, if you're a Republican, I don't care if you're independent, you know he's wrong. Right. So if you don't say anything, you stand behind him, you're wrong also. That's right. So we know, as we stated, and I know Danielle's here, and we just heard Hakeem Jeffers get me fired up and talk about it. He said one thing clear. We know that every racist in America voted for Donald Trump, right? That's right. And everybody who is blind to racism also voted for Donald Trump on that day. So these same people will go to the polls in Passaic County, in New Jersey, and do the same thing because they do not want to see progress. The progress that Barack Obama made the last 8 years, they want to see reverse. Be it health care, be it education, you name it. They want to switch everything around. So we have to make sure that we are clear with this message. November 6th, vote as if your life depends on it. God bless you. Have a good afternoon.